Miller, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And I go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock to share with you some of the things that I've been working on. So today we are going to make one of the cards that we made in my recent Stamp a Stack class. So it has a couple of tricks, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you what those are. So let's go ahead and get started. So you can see here we're going to be using the Petals of Beauty bundle with the stamp set with all these lovely designs for flowers. And then we're also going to be using just one of the dies from the coordinating die set. So this is a set that I've used several times recently. I really can't get enough of it. It's just really super cute and fun to work with. So let's go ahead and start with some fabulous colors. We are going to use Coastal Cabana as our card base. And so we're going to just fold that in half and give it a good crease with a bone folder. There we go. And then we're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock and we're going to add that to the inside of our card, just so that when we go to write on our message on the inside, we can see it. Now you'll notice it's a little bit smaller than what I normally put on the inside, and the only reason for that is that we're going to use the same size layer for the outside of the card, and when I do a class, it's just much easier if everything is kind of the same, right? The same size. When it's that close of a difference, it can be confusing for people to know which one goes on the inside, which one goes on the outside. So that's the only reason for that. So next up, I'm going to grab a couple of stamps. Now you'll notice I'm using these different blocks, and these are the blocks that come with Paper Pumpkin and all of our kits. And the only reason I'm using these is because when I do my Stamp a Stack class, I have 5 stations, and each station uses stamps, and I ran out of blocks. So because number one, this particular card uses a whole bunch of blocks. But anyway, that's why I'm using slightly different blocks. So I'm going to start with Pool Party, and Pool Party is a nice light color, and I'm going to start with our biggest flower. And there's a class that Stampin' Up! Is offering, and for this particular stamp set, they make 4 cards in the class, and it's done by the people who work at Stampin' Up!, not just demonstrators. And the designer for this set said that she deliberately designed it so that because it's a 2-step stamp, sometimes it's hard to know how to line up the stamps on top of each other, and you'll see that in a second, but we're going to be focusing on this little mountain right here as our point of matching. So let's go ahead and stamp it. We're going to just stamp this 3 times on the card, and yes, it's very light. It is very light. It looks very light when we're stamping it down, but that's okay, because wait until you see what happens. So I've stamped it 3 times, and then I'm going to take another flower, and you can see this also has a little mountain over here, and I'm going to put just a little one off to the side over here. Now I could have gone off the edge. Oops, probably didn't get that so well over there, but yes, it's very light. But watch what happens. We're going to take Coastal Cabana, which is a perfect coordinating color for a pool party, and we're going to take the stamp that was designed to match this one, right? So we've got the base layer, and now we've got the detail layer, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy it is to line up using Coastal Cabana. Okay, so remember, I'm going to line this little guy up here. And of course, I have a camera in my head, so if I'm not perfect, that's really the only reason. It's hard for me to see, but next one will be a little bit better. Watch what happens. Isn't that fabulous? So it is lined up perfectly there. And this one, I can see that I'm going to go off the edge a little bit, and I've got a flower there. And yeah, maybe the stamp set is, the stamp pad, my Pool Party is a little bit lighter than I even thought, but it's going to give it a great effect. Okay, So here we go. We've got our flowers on there. Okay, so now that we have that, we want to add some leaves, and we're going to do the same thing. So we have some two-step leaf leaf stamping. So let's go ahead and pop over to that, and we're going to use the base layer, and we're going to put some leaves over here, and you don't want to be afraid to go off the page. We'll put another one. I don't have my card sample here. Let's see if I find one. Let's put one right about here. And yeah, I have a little overlap, and that's okay. And I'm going to put one down here. Okay, so now that I've got that, got a little Coastal Cabana there. Oh well, you know, it's a handmade card. It's not perfect. So now I'm going to take Granny Apple Green, and this is just going to put the veins into those leaves. So again, it lines up. This one, the point of lining up is really that base point there. So when you position it down, and this one is a little bit, less exact. So that's okay. And this one, go like that. So now we have our background. And what we're going to do now is a fabulous trick that, I don't always think of doing. We are going to take an embossing folder. This one is called Beautiful Pattern, and we are going to put this inside the embossing folder now that we have finished stamping it. And I'm going to run it over to my die cut machine. I don't want to put it in front of you because it will shape the whole table. And of course, I thought I had it stood up properly. Do that again. I know, I'm off camera. I'm coming back. I'm coming right back. It's hard for me to show, but now you can see we've taken the beautiful pattern and embossed it, and look what that gives us. So it gives us that lovely design. And you have to do it after you stamp, because if you did it before you stamp, you're not going to get the clearest imprint of your stamps. Okay. So then let's go ahead and assemble our card. I'm going to take a piece of lemon lime twist cardstock, a color I don't use very often. It can totally take over a card, but in this case it really doesn't. And you can see that this is two-tone paper, so one side is darker than the other. But before I adhere this to it, I am going to, through the magic of television, die cut out 2 of the sprigs. So I'm going to send that through my machine, and I'm going to end up with 2 sprigs cut out of that. But because I made sure that it's in the center, it's not going to be a problem. So I've got my 2 sprigs. I don't have to waste any cardstock. And this one I didn't cut down to the right size. I was in too much of a hurry, but let me just give that a quick cut just to make sure it's 5 1/4. So here we go. And I'm going to use my wet adhesive because it's textured. And I'm just going to do the edges here. And I could do points in the center, but if I do, it's just going to get on my table. And I don't want that right now because I'm working on a glass mat. So I put that down. Oh, I got some on anyway. See that? Okay. And then we're going to add it to our card front. So you can see there, it's cut out there, but it doesn't matter because we're covering it. So that's a way to save some paper. So let's go ahead and add this to our card. I think that's upside down from what I had. And I just love these beautiful colors. And there's a stamper in online who does a lot with these colors, and I always love her work. So now I'm going to take those leaves and I'm going to add them to the card front to give a little texture. You could use dimensionals, but I just used a little bit of wet adhesive. And again, I'm not going crazy, just a little on these pieces. And I'm going to put it diagonally across. And I know, yes, I'm covering up a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to add our sentiment as well. And you can see I could have cut them but I didn't. I just went ahead and used them full strength, if you will. And then I took some white cardstock and I cut out a label using the nested labels dies. So it's this one here. And we're going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment. This one says grateful for you, and it's from a stamp set that I haven't used in a little while. It's called Layers of Beauty, and I could have also used Happy Anniversary. Grateful for you is what we're going to use here. And I'm going to stamp it in the Coastal Cabana because I love Coastal Cabana. And of course that is the outline of our card too, our card base. So we have grateful for you. It's always better if you stamp it straight. Mine's a little crooked. That's all right. I'm going to go with it. And then I'm going to take my dimensionals because I almost always use dimensionals on cards. Go ahead, and I'm just using 2 here, and I'm going to lay that down and making sure I cover up, the overlap and any points sticking out. Okay, so now the card is just about done, but we need just a little bit of something else. And I use this ribbon. This is Summer Splash ribbon. I didn't realize, but it's actually discontinued, so I apologize for that. I usually only show current product, but this had been available, and I didn't realize that it had sold out. So it is gone. But I'm just tying a bow, and you see that I do it when it's still on the spool, so that if I need to undo it and do it again, so that I don't waste any ribbon if I don't have to. But we're just going to be happy with that the way it is, and I'm just going to cut it on a diagonal, turn it down, and then using a glue dot, I'm going to add it to my card. So these glue dots are the ones that come in paper pumpkins, and although not as much lately, I haven't been using these in our regular kits, but I'm going to go ahead and add that. I just keep these on my desk because it's easiest. And I know a lot of you are new to me watching, so I wanted to make sure I told you about that. But here's the card, and I think I just love the way that looked. And I will tell you, it was a very popular card at my class. So I'm happy to share it with you. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. And if you make one like it, please, let us see it. Post it in the comments. But thank you for joining. And it's an exciting day at Stampin' Up! Because today it was announced that we are getting a new stamp positioner. We had something called the Stamparatus, which was a stamp positioner that we had, and unfortunately we had to discontinue that product for legal reasons. But we have a new one coming, and right now it's only available to demonstrators. Eventually it'll be available to everyone, but if you are not a demonstrator and you would like to get it in the month of February, if you sign up to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you get it for free as part of your starter kit. So very, very exciting news for us, and hopefully I'll have mine very soon to share with you so that you can see what you might get if you sign up to get it. So, and if you're a demonstrator, you can get yours now, so don't miss out on that. Definitely don't want to do that. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.